In both 2005 and 2006, the Skylands Classic brought the national tour to Warwick, New York, where Ken Climo and David Feldberg shined. This year, the event is moved to the Blue Mountain Disc Golf Course in Palmerton, PA. Last month, we watched as Nico held off Feldberg and Oram to win the Vibram Open. Can he do it again? Stay tuned as Disc Golf Monthly starts now. Welcome to another edition of Disc Golf Monthly. We're here in Palmerton, Pennsylvania for the 2010 Skylands Classic at Blue Mountain National Tour event. Hello everyone, I'm Carl Cubbage and I'm joined by fellow disc golfer Tom Cady. Welcome to Disc Golf Monthly, Tom.
Thanks, Cubby. Great to be here.
Now, Tom, this course at Blue Mountain, it's not only a disc golf course, but you've skied it during the winter. It's a ski resort.
I've skied Blue Mountain for years. It's got a lot of elevation. It's a great ski area, and what a great place to build a disc golf course.
So, Tom, they're really going to have to air them out because of the elevation and the length. What's the key on a course like this?
I think with elevation changes like this, you've got to keep it in the fairway. With this kind of drop-off in elevation, it's easy to fade to the left and right and go OB.
And putting is also going to be a factor with a course this long.
Putting's always the big challenge. The guys who know how to putt are the guys who know how to win tournaments, and we've got some of the best putters in the world here.
We do. This is a National Tour event. We've got a lot of world champions here, a lot of top players. Should be a great event. But before we cover all that action, Tom, we're going to go down to the previous round highlights and see some of the great skills that the players have here at this event. All right, Tom, we got Navad Hasnain's drive.
Look at that long glide on that throw. Beautiful shot.
Bort Salang's approach shot.
We parked that just past the hole. And here's Jeb Bryant putting.
Nothing but chains. All right, now we move on to Robbie Branton's drive.
Now look at him throwing it out wide and relying on that fade coming right back into the fairway. What a nice shot. And Robbie Bratton's putt.
Solid, he's got it. That was fantastic. Nice shot. Okay, we move on to Nate Doss, former world champion. Look at his drive.
Boy, Nate can really rip a long throw, can he? Look at that glide right down over the trees and watch this fade back in. Oh, what a nice shot. Jeremy Colling putting.
Nice shot, Jeremy. Dead center chains. All right, we move on to Matt Oram's drive. Look at this flick.
Boy, Matt's got a great forearm drive.
Is it ever going to come down?
Steve Brinster with his putt.
Stevie nails it. Nice shot, Steve. Okay, we move on to David Feldberg's putt.
Nothing but chain there. Okay, Nico LaCastro with his drive.
Can anybody rip the disc harder than that? Nico's got a great shot down the chute there, Tom.
That's a beautiful drive.
All right, Jason Doerr's approach shot.
Right under the chairlift. Terry Gallops with his approach shot.
He throws the overhand shot there, and he lets that one rip. Look at that thing tumble back. Nice shot. Okay, we've got Philo Brathwaite.
Nothing but chain on that one. Nailed it.
Way to go, Philo.
Okay, Nick Gagne with his approach shot.
Boy, that's a nice rip right through the gap there, Tom, heading right to the basket. Nicely
Great
done.
shot
right
by Nick.
there.
Look at that park.
Okay, Jamie Lett's approach.
Look at that fade right into it. Oh, what a beautiful shot just behind the hole.
Okay, Paul Ulibarri's putting.
Nails it. Nothing but chain. Nico LaCastro with his drive.
Wow, Nico's going to take us right through the end of this segment. Look at that one. Let's see that one. That's going for the basket. Nice shot, Nico. And that's it, Tom, for previous round highlights. Wow, Tom, that was a fantastic display of skills from these top players, not only putting, but to see those discs really soar across the sky.
These guys really know how to work the fairway, you know, how to work the curve of the disc and keep it in the fairway and get right up to the hole. It was great to see.
Oh, fantastic. Well, the players got some great weather here. It's not really that windy, but wind can be a factor on a course like this.
Oh, absolutely, especially when you're up at these elevations. It can take the disc right off the course.
All right, well, great. We're going to follow some great action today, but before we do that, we got a treat. We've got former world champion Cam Todd, who's going to give us a little clinic on putting.
I'm Cameron Todd. I'm here to show you a couple tips about putting. I generally like to start with a couple fundamentals, your stance, your grip, and your momentum. First thing, your stance is pretty important. You want to get comfortable just like any athletic position. Sometimes if you just, make a little jump and then land, you're going to be in some kind of athletic position. So that's, you can find yours by doing that. If nothing else, just get your feet about shoulder width apart and find yourself feeling comfortable. You need to have a little bit of spring in your legs, so that's why you're getting your leg position in a correct position. Second thing I like to talk about is grip. Everybody has different grips. There's a few things to watch out for. You don't want the finger on the outside of the rim at all. You don't want the front finger cramping the disc, or you don't want any of these other fingers cramping the rim. You want everything to be natural and just a natural closing hand and barely coming around the disc. Primarily you want to use your thumb and your two fingers to make a finger motion. Notice how my wrist is not moving at all and my fingers move. Now all I want to do is take a little bit of energy from my legs and I want to transfer it through my hand with a little bit of finger spring. So what I teach is down on two, up on one. And if you do that, you're going to get the momentum you need to transfer to your arm through the disc. So we're going to go down on two, up on one. Down on two, up on one.
Well, Tom, I really like the way that Cam Todd broke down the basics of putting. I think a lot of that would help a lot of golfers out there.
Great advice to all disc golfers.
Well, we saw a world champion in a putting clinic, and we're going to see some great players here in this final 10 holes of the Skylands Classic. Tom, who are we going to be following today in the final 10 holes?
Well, first we're going to watch Nico Lacastro from St. Louis, Missouri. He placed second in the Shoals Pittsburgh Flying Disc Open. He won the Vibram Open in Massachusetts, and he won the Cranberry Classic in Connecticut. Then we're going to look at Dave Feldberg from Portland, Oregon. He placed second in the PDGA Pro Worlds, third in the Vibram Open, and second in the Full Throttle Challenge. And then Matt Oram from Mobile, Alabama is going to be with the group. He placed fourth in the Mad City Open, second in the Vibram Open, and seventh in the Cranberry Classic. And Paul Ulibarri from Scottsdale, Arizona was second in the Mad City Open, ninth at the Vibram Open, and first place in the Full Throttle Challenge.
Well, it's a real treat today, Tom. These four players certainly have the skills, and it should be an exciting finish here in the last 10 holes.
Cubby, it will.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to catch all the final action here at the Skylands Classic. All right, Tom, we're here with our four players for the final 10 holes of the Skylands Classic. And you can see Nico's up by 4 strokes, and the other 3 players are just right behind, nestled in nice and close. As we move on to basket 15, this is a par 5, 910 feet.
It's a long hole, Cubby.
Now they've got to play a shot from right to left here, Tom. They've got to cut it around through a gap.
Matt's looking pretty stylish on the tee.
Airs that one out nicely.
Right into the gap. Perfect shot.
See if Dave can follow that one there through the gap as well.
Look at the snap that Dave gets on that disc.
He's got great form. Nice skip at the end. And nobody can rip it like Nico. He really can let that disc fly.
Watch the shoulder turn that Nico gets on his release.
Wow, that's fantastic. Cutting nicely through the gap, right through the center.
Beautiful shot.
Paul to follow those three up.
Paul just didn't get it out quite enough. Cuts it a little bit tight.
And you can see the basket down in the distance there. They've still got some distance to go. There's the flag on top of the basket.
Paul's got a great forearm throw. He keeps it on a hyzer, plays the skip.
He'll have a nice approach coming up there. Nico's second throw.
I do like to watch the shoulder turn that Nico has. It gives you a lot of extra distance in the game.
He's got an interesting way he holds the disc at the end to get that extra snap there. Great form. That's still up there, coming back down.
Fading in. What a
Nicely
great
done.
shot. Okay, let's see what Dave can do.
Sends it out nice and flat down the right side, flexing
It's a
back.
great flat shot and just relies on the fade to bring it back into the right
Wow.
behind the hole. What a great
Beautiful shot there.
Let's see what Matt can do.
Looks like a flick coming up here.
Really throws it out and lets it come in. Another great shot.
All right, Paul's second throw here. He takes a flick shot as well, bringing it around from left to right. A little bit wide.
It's a little out
Right
wide.
there.
Should be in his range though.
He really set up nicely there. Cuts that one around from right to left. And
Notice
just
how
parks it.
Matt just took a nice, easy throw there and let the
Absolutely.
disc do the work. Okay, Dave with his putt.
This is for an eagle 3, Tom. Wow.
That's what makes
Incredible.
Dave the great player that he is.
That is fantastic. What a feat.
Okay, Nico with a short putt should be no problem for him.
All right, gets his
right
par.
in the chains.
All right, Matt
Nice.
cleans up his putt there.
Pretty tight match here, Cubby.
That it is. As we move on to basket 16, this is a par 4, 565 feet.
Dave first off.
They've got nice tee boxes here, Tom. Really good.
Nice course.
Gets some great footing and lets that one rip.
Great
Nicely
shot
done.
right in the middle of the fairway.
Okay, Matt.
Matt's going with a forehand or a backhand this time.
Sends that up high. Cut back. He's in the fairway as well, Tom.
Let's see what Nico can do on this one. He's going to use all the tee pad. Boy, he really does get a lot of muscle into that.
Yeah, I've never seen anybody rip the disc like that, Tom. He really can let that thing fly. A little bit of a breeze there. Let's see what Paul does. He sends that one up high as well to the right, coming back. Right in the fairway, no problem
Boy,
there.
they're all there right together, aren't they?
All right, Matt's not taking any run up. He's standing and deliver, sends it out to the right. That's
Just-
a textbook approach right there,
Just like the
Tom.
last hole, wasn't it?
Different
all with that
approach there.
flick.
Look at that flick. With a nice skip at the end.
Shot just behind the hole. Dave's going to play this one out to the right, it looks like, and let it fade in.
And you called it nicely, and he is coming in nicely. Right
Great
there.
shot. Nico with the same style. Notice how these players don't play it short. They play it to the basket. If it goes long, great, but you'll never get it in if you play short.
That's a nice tip, Tom. Solid putt there from Dave. Paul finishes up. Nico's in.
They're all there within 10 feet of the basket.
Matt finishes up
hole.
nicely. Okay, so we've got Nico up by 4, and everybody's right there in the hunt, Tom. All right, Tom, we're moving on to basket 17. This is a par 4, 740 feet. A lot of
This is a
distance to
big
cover.
dog leg to the left. Dave's really been clawing his way back into the lead one stroke at a time.
Nice flight on that disc. And it comes around, almost got the cameraman. A good skip there.
And let's see what Matt has to say about that. Matt's got a nice, smooth release, doesn't he?
Nice
Great.
and low, and I think he'll get a good skip there as well. That was even closer to the cameraman.
Nico?
Boy, he got
Good
all of that.
release and a lot of snap at the release.
Look how far past the cameraman that one went. Sent that one down.
Paul can really rip them as well.
And he's cutting a little more to the left. Should be able to skip through the gap. See our leaders walking to the next shot.
Matt with his forearm shot.
Boy, look at
Throws
that bullet
nice,
there.
flat laser.
Wow, look at that.
What a
That's
great
right
shot.
there.
Parked. Okay, Dave's going to play it out to the right, almost the opposite shot of what Matt just threw.
Keeps it under the branches. Nico with a short run up on his approach.
Got a little bit out
went out of
wide.
bounds there, I believe, Tom. Tough break there.
Looks like Paul's going to throw a flick.
Really put some juice into that one.
He's a little out to the right.
Okay, Nico was OB. Here's his fourth shot in. Nicely done.
Okay, Paul with his putt.
This is a tester right here, Tom.
It is in the tester zone, isn't it, Cubby? Oh,
And
just
just
a
caught
little
the
low.
rim. That's a tough one there.
Dave's got a putt from about the same distance, a little closer. Dave gets his putt up a little higher and lets it fall down into the
That
chains.
pre-shot routine that they go through, Tom, really keeps them steady.
Nico with his fifth throw.
All right, that's in. All right, well, a couple of birdies, a couple of bogeys, 2 strokes. Nico's got for the lead as we move on to basket 18, Tom. There's a par 4, 470 feet, a little less distance this time.
This seems short after some of these 900-foot holes, doesn't it?
Dave, who's played really steady here.
Here's a laser beam right down the
Wow,
chute.
right through the gap. Some good D with a skip
Lets
on
it
the end.
fade
We'll have a
right
good look.
around the bend. You know, watch Matt's throw. Very smooth release. Doesn't muscle it. Good
Yeah, it seems like he's
snap.
got everything right at the end there
Very
going.
flat, great flat shot, and lets it just fade out to the right or to the left. Nico, you'll see, puts a little more muscle onto it when he releases.
Boy, and that's a bullet there too. A little bit down the right side, just catches a little tree.
And that's good if you've got the timing, you know, to put that extra muscle in it at the end. But, you know, lots of times you'll get a lot more consistent throw if you just ease up on your release. Nico's got the talent and this experience.
He's got the timing as well.
To really let it rip. Paul has a smooth release as well, great with the flick shot. Look at right around the trees.
Right there,
Parked.
nicely done with a skip at the end.
Nico with his up shot.
Really got the body rocking nice there, and have an easy shot coming up.
See what Matt's planning to do. Looks out to the right, and he's going to bring it in.
Yeah, we've seen him really throw those out to the right nicely. He covers the
It
basket.
skips just a little past the basket. A nice shot. Okay, Dave with his second shot.
He's in great position. Just caught
catches a tree, but he's still within
He's still
putting
there.
distance. A little bit of a tester left. Nico was hit with his third shot.
solid.
Right in the chains. Nice shot. Okay, let's see what Dave can do. Left it a little far out, a little more than he wanted to.
Pours it in, Tom.
These guys can putt.
See Paul clean up here.
Paul
And he
for his
does.
birdie. Very nice. Should be no problem for Matt.
Little straddle putt. Got it. That was a good hole. We're going to move on here. We
All
still
birdies.
have a two-stroke lead. It's a tight grouping here. Okay, we're going to move on to basket 19, par 5, 665 feet. Now we're getting up there.
This really yeses through the trees. Takes a sharp turn to the left, or to the right, I'm sorry, and then ends with a turn to the left.
Dave threads that one through.
This can be a tough shot for people who throw backhand to keep an anhyzer, to keep that turn around to the right.
And for a right-hander, an anhyzer would be keeping that outside of the disc in so that it would move from left to right.
That's right. Look at Nico. When he releases this, he'll have the disc, the outside edge of the disc tilted up, and he'll want to hold that line getting around the trees. He just caught that first tree. All right, now for a lefty, it'll naturally fail over to fail
Or somebody throwing forehand.
Or throwing a forehand, that's right. It'll naturally go around to the right. The disc naturally
With a
wants
nice
to
skip at
fall
the
that
end.
way. Okay, Nico left himself with a tight shot here. Got to stretch out, and he's going to throw another anhyzer around that bend. Okay,
That was
good
a nice
placement
throw there.
shot. Kind of had to get himself out of trouble.
That's
Dave
a
was
good rip
pretty
there.
well positioned for that anhyzer shot, and he played it real well,
Yeah,
didn't he?
he did.
You can see where this course is really pretty scenic when you get in the trees here.
Quite a challenge for these top players. Looked like some bad footing there for Matt, and it just
Yeah.
got caught up in the trees.
Okay, let's see. Paul's in good position here for a hyzer shot around the bend. You could see he could put a lot more into that from where he was positioned, right around the bend.
Nico checking the run up, checking the footing. Sends that one right down the gap.
Okay, Matt throwing a flick. Looks like he's going to have to.
Looks like he's surveying the line that the disc's going to take.
This will be an anhyzer forearm shot. pretty tough. You've got to keep the spin on the disc for it to hold that line.
Just caught a tree there. That was a tough break.
Okay, at least he fell out into the middle. Paul with his flick shot. Nice forearm right around the bend.
See if Matt can recover here after hitting that tree.
A little
right
tight.
Side, coming back.
Yep. That'll
All right,
play
right
nicely.
There. Dave seems to be in the zone there, Tom. He's really composed and really focused.
Started off with an eagle, and it's been nothing but birdies on this back. Look at that, parked right up at the basket. Paul for his birdie. Oh yeah, he hit the chains. That was a great shot.
Nico's in.
Matt with an easy putt. And Dave with the drop in. Wind seems to be picking up a little bit here on the course, Cubby, huh?
A little bit there, yep, and you can see these players are just, it's neck and neck down the stretch here as we move on to basket number 22, par 4, 510 feet. Got some distance uphill to climb here.
This is where the big arms at these guys really pay off to throw uphill this distance. You need to have a little bit of power behind it. I know Paul's got that power. Watch him.
Look at that thing twisted to the right, and it's going to flex back.
You throw it with a little bit of Anheuser, it flexed out and it fades back. Great shot. A little off the fairway, but a nice shot.
Matt sends that down the right side. That just catches the top of the pine there.
And Nico, watch the shoulder turn again. Gives you a lot of power.
Tremendous amount of power. All right, Matt, after hitting that pine, takes his second shot.
This is Matt's
really
shot.
Really does a good job of lining those up, Tom. Really deliberate.
He does. He picks his line. He knows the angle it wants to be on. He'll lay it out and let it fade back into the basket.
That's valet parking right there.
Sure was.
Nico in the tall grass.
Very similar
got
shot
some juice
to Matt.
on it. Here's a good view of a flick shot here. Great camera work.
Okay, you can see he wants to throw it with a little bit of Anheuser on it. That outer edge is up, right around through the trees, holding that line. You've got to have good spin on the disc to do that. Nice shot.
That was a good demonstration of that. And Dave Feldberg just doing business as usual.
There's a backhand Anheuser shot. Dave puts that up nicely too.
Just off the top rim there. That was a tough break, Tom. Just a tad bit wide.
We haven't seen many missed putts this round, have we, Cubby?
We have
These
not.
guys are really playing tight.
And if they do miss, they are hitting metal, just off a little bit, and that'll sometimes get the just to slide out of the slot.
You notice even close up, they'll pay attention to what they're doing. Last thing you want to do is miss a stroke this close to the basket.
Okay, well, we've got 3 birdies and a par there.
If you notice, Dave was 4th going into the back.
I hear you.
Then he was 3rd, now he's 2nd.
Well, we're going to go to a break, Tom. When we come back, we'll catch all the final action here at the Skylands Classic.
What's the joke? What's so funny?
Okay, Tom, we're on to basket 23. This is a par 4, 600 feet. A dog leg left.
First you shoot down the trees and then out to the left. Dave with a nice shot right down. Look at the nice flat throw.
Beautiful skip there. Almost takes out the cameraman. Smooth and solid right down the middle as well.
Very similar to Dave's. So important to keep that disc flat on release and low. You notice they don't get it too high. It stays right level with the plane, with the terrain. Nico, same thing. He's got a little bit more hyzer on his shot. And you see it put him over into the trees. Paul throwing a backhand too.
Cranks it a little more down the right side, but it's
Yeah,
coming
he did.
back. Catches a tree there.
It's tough on these narrow fairways. Those flat, low shots will get you down through a fairway. See, Nico took it a little bit too tight, and our last shot was a little out wide, playing a bit too much hyzer for that narrow fairway.
Well, we saw the basket as he panned away. It's tucked in the trees. Nico still has a little bit of work here. Going to try to take that
he's
little...
going to take a flick shot, high flick shot out around the bend. Now, Paul, remember, was down the right side, so he'll have the opposite shot. He'll have an anhyzer out around here.
Takes it high, catches a tree, and kicks left. Matt seems to be in good position here.
Classic no run up. He keeps that foot still. Just
Nice
a
high
nice
cut,
smooth release.
parks it near the basket.
Dave with a run right at the basket.
And it stays right there.
Nico with a bit of a jump putt.
Just a little bit left. That's in. Dave finishes up. They're focused. Not a lot of discussion going on there, Tom.
I know. A lot of accuracy required
Well,
on
you
that
can see how
last
tight
hole.
it is. There's only a one-stroke lead here now by Nico. As we move on to basket 24, this is a par 3, 360 feet.
We've got water over to the right that's out of bounds and the trees along the left-hand side. It's a nice view from here.
Boy, sends that one nice and high. Cutting back. Nicely done. You know, if you notice these guys, Tom, not only do they let them rip, but they really get a good follow-through to continue the momentum of that shot. And you can see that paid off there at a good skip.
Sure did.
The shot really isn't done until that follow-through is all the way through. Nico really demonstrates a good follow-through there. That's going at it. Nice shot.
Oh, with a nice high shot out to the right, fading in.
Let's see if Dave can make a strike right here. Jump putt. Bam. Oh, just fluttered off the chains.
Falls out.
Through the gap in the trees.
I know he wanted that. That would have tied him for the lead.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was fantastic effort. Dave's like, what do I got to do
Can't
here?
believe
That
it.
was there.
That with a little bit of a tester, but
Oh, and he caught the tree near the basket. He's wondering what happened there.
Nico would like to take advantage of this. He needs to thread it through the trees.
And he
Nice
does.
shot.
Okay, so Nico opens that lead back up to 2 strokes there. Tough break for a couple of players on that hole, but there's a lot of golf left as we move on to basket 25, par 3, 455 feet. I said a lot of golf, but it's really 2 holes here, Tom. Time for somebody to make a strike.
This is such a tight match. Every hole counts.
Big throw there.
Look at that glide. Fading right in. Just past the hole. What a nice shot.
Wow, look at Dave pull through on that shot, and that disc just sends it running. Look at that. Wow. Almost put it in the basket on the fly.
Did. And Matt's trying to get his line visualized in his mind.
And he cranks it out there high and to the right as well. Let's see if his is
let's
going to
watch
cut. It's drifting a little bit right.
Will it fade back enough?
Yeah, very nice.
That's a nice shot. Looks like Paul's going to go with the same shot. So rip out flat to the right, let the disc do the work, fading back into the hole.
That's another nice shot there.
Great shot.
Look at the skip there.
With that angle, you get a nice skip into the hole. Great shot, parked.
All right, Nico, chance to get the birdie here. He's in good position. Just hit it off the top of the basket.
Should be no problem for Dave.
Not the way he's been motoring through here. He's been focused. Dead solid
putt.
chains.
That's quite close. So is Paul. Some beautiful drives.
They parked him.
Well, this is quite a match.
It is. That was a tough break there. Nico's leads down to 1, but we have one more hole to go here as we move on to basket number 26. This is a par 4, 875 feet. A good finishing hole here, Tom.
We've got nice elevation on this. Players are shooting downhill.
And they are
Look
going
at
to
that
send those
shot.
discs flying. You can time these. They're going to hang up there for a while.
The wind's picking up out here too.
Down the right side as well. And he's, where's it going? He's saying it's going right. Good shot there.
Paul's playing down the left side of the fairway.
Crank that one out there.
Paulie, I think it might play.
Paul's got some real power on his drives. Nico's going to take advantage of this run up to the tee.
Boy, and he just launched that one out there.
All right, Dave with his second throw at the basket on this par 4.
Sends it high, sends it right. It's cutting back. Nicely done. All right, Nico's second shot.
Nice low flat shot. Fading around.
And that's going to do is crank it out to the right and bring it back. Nicely done.
Okay, Dave needs his
Dave
putt
needs-
for a birdie.
Absolutely. He's been solid. right in the center of the
Nice
chains.
putt.
All right,
Okay.
Nico for the par. Oh, tough break there, Tom, right off the rim.
A little low.
And Matt puts it in. Looks like we've got a playoff here, Tom.
Yeah, with 3 birdies and a bogey.
Tough break, Nico.
Unfortunate bogey there for Nico at the
Out
end.
by 1. Wow, Tom, we've got a playoff here between Dave Feldberg and Matt Oram. That was some outstanding disc golf.
It was unbelievable, really. Dave was 7 strokes off the lead after the front. Started off making a statement with an eagle, and then followed with birdies all the way through. Only 1 par on 24. Everything else birdie.
That was fantastic. Matt, who finished with 16 birdies, and he had 4 pars, no bogeys on the card, and Dave Feldberg with the 14 birdies, the 5 pars, and the eagle.
Really?
So it was quite an event. Now, Nico was right in the hunt, but the bogeys got him there, and unfortunately the one at the end cost him.
It sure did.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break. We're going to catch the playoff between Dave Feldberg and Matt Oram here at the Skylands Classic. All right, Tom, we got the playoff between David Feldberg and Matt Oram. This is basket 14, a par 3, 330 feet.
Dave's had a lot of momentum. He was 7 strokes off at the end of the front. Now he climbed his way up to the lead.
He is just motored through here. Rock solid, great focus, great execution. Sends that one out towards the basket.
Looked pretty relaxed with that
Hits the
throw.
rock and parks it.
Wow, great shot.
See if Matt could tuck one in there as well.
Wind's really picking up here. Matt's got a nice smooth release on his shots. Once
Sends
again.
it a little bit lower.
See, that's coming in for a bit of a skip.
Ooh,
Oh,
took a
it skips
skip
just
instead of
past.
sticking it. All right, so Matt's got a little bit of a putt compared to Dave.
Yeah, Dave was fortunate hitting those rocks that stopped him dead right at the basket.
See if Matt can convert here and keep it alive. Oh,
just
in the chains and out, just
off
rode
the
over the
basket.
rim. Tough break there. It's a good putt.
That was a solid putt.
Dave
Just
for
missed.
drop in for the event. The winner.
The winner of the 2010 Skylands Classic of Blue Mountain, Dave Feldberg.
Great tournament by Dave.
Boy, he
All the
clawed
players
his
played
way.
fantastic, Tom.
Clawed his way through that back
That he
10
did.
holes. What a great tournament.
Well, it only took one hole, Tom, for Dave Feldberg to win the Skylands Classic. They both had great drives there at the end, but just a matter of one gets a skip, one hits the rock and keeps it parked.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Dave's drive stopped right where it needed to stop, and Matt's took a skip and put him a little far out to make that last putt.
But we had some great play during this event, and once again, we'd like to stress the volunteers and organizers did a great job for this event, and really that's the heart of disc golf right there, Tom.
It really is. It's these clubs that work together, put on a great tournament, make all the difference.
Well, I hope you folks can get out there next year for the Skylands Classic. We had a great time. I'm Carl Cubbage with fellow disc golfer Tom Cady for Disc Golf Monthly, the show that takes you one step closer to the exciting sport of disc golf.